Okay, we're back for another review on the Union Repair 6-port USB multi-charger, I believe it's called. Let's have a look on here. 6-port 8.8 amp multi-function USB charging station adapter. Okay, this one here has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the back. This is actually a different one. This has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This has got 8. Let me just see if I can find the right one, because I actually thought that's what it was. 8 port. That's not the right one. Okay, that's the right one. So this is the 8-port USB charging station. It doesn't tell you what amperage it is. If we flick over to, let's have a look, so we can both have a look at this. Okay, so you can see it here, it's $35. I've used this for nearly a month and a half now. It holds 9 devices, but only charges 8. It says there's 19.2 amp max load. I haven't tested this, but we'll get into that in a second. Okay, I have noticed the other day when we put some bits on it, we put about 3 or 4 in here, and it actually started making a really high-pitched noise, but I've got some devices to put on charge. What I will say is, just off a quick review, if we get rid of this, as far as build quality goes, you've only got these small plastic dividers. I would prefer them to be bigger, because if you add an iPad in, it is okay, but it'd be nicer if it was held a bit higher. They're a bit flimsy and they do come out. I haven't had one fall over on me yet, so, you know, that's by the by. So, I think what we should do is, if we put some devices on here and charge them, and see how it handles. On the bottom it says 19.2 amps. Obviously that divided by 8 is going to be more than enough to power, you know, this amount of iPads. But you can see it's quite well built. It's made of this sort of, I don't know how you describe it, it's like a plastic with this sort of rubber coating on. I imagine if I run my thumb across it, it'd scratch quite easy. But it does feel quite nice. You've got the, what I used to call a kettle adapter, but figure of 8 adapter for the UK. There you go. That's a good example of them just falling out. Obviously I'm holding this up upside down, so you'd expect that to happen, but it'd be nicer if these were just slightly taller. Other than that, it's got a power button here. Feels like a good quality power button, even though it's stuck in a bit there. But yeah, we've been really happy with it. Usually our desk is full of devices charging, so this thing here, at least at very worst, it neatened up the desk, which, if you're anything like me and you've got some sort of compulsion disorder when it comes to straight lines and things being neat and tidy, this thing is going to be a win. And for $35, you can't go wrong. So what I've done is, for the stuff that isn't a high amp drawer, I've just taken these leads and, wait, where are we? I've just sellotaped them together like this. So what I did is I just took something like this, something brown, and we just wrapped them around it, put a bit of sellotape on there first, wrapped it round, and then just sealed them up. That way you can neaten the cables up. Again, like I said, I have got a problem when it comes to straight lines, messy cables, and other things. So if we just get these chargers in here, I'm going to do every other one. Unlike the Android cables, you can see here, I couldn't get the shorter versions, the legit, you know, MFI certified ones, these shorter cables. It doesn't seem to matter so much with the USB. How many USBs have I got? I've got 2. Okay, let's put those together. And we've got some slightly longer cables here. Let's put those on the end. What we're going to do is we're going to just attach these devices one by one. So we have a iPhone 5. So you can see that one is on charge. We have I think that's a 6S. That's a 6S. You can see this. I don't think I can get this any higher. Let's try and move this out a bit. There you go, and we'll get this camera up a bit there. I will just activate that camera again because I've touched the wire and it hates it. It hates the wire being touched. Okay, there we go. So we're going to connect the next one. That one there I can feel is working. We've got an iPhone 6. And this is the problem with the longer leads. It'd be cool if they sold a load of leads with this as well, you know, like the micro leads, sort of like jumper leads going from here to here to here. That would neaten the whole thing up, and that would be a huge win for me. Because you can already see here, even though I've you know, made these slightly neater, this is still, it's still grating on me. So let's try a Android device. It hasn't started making the noise I heard it make the other day, so it could have been maybe the device that I'd actually attached. And we're going to try an iPad mini next. You can hear that's charging. So already now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 devices out of the 8 it's rated for. We've got a iPad docking station here again. So now I'm starting to get these wires here. It's a bit of a pain trying to divide these wires, and also another thing to note, once you start getting this amount of devices in here, where's the charging bit to this? There we go, it's on the side. Once you start getting more devices in there, they start leaning against each other, which it's not so much of a problem, but it would be nice if they were just held individually, because the last thing you want to do is start scratching customers' devices. We've got 1 port left, so let me get another lead. I obviously can't do simple maths. Okay, what I'm going to do is plug my S8 in, just to make this even. I did have another 6 Plus and a 6S there. I think we have got 1 more port after this, so let's do. Okay, that's that charging. That should be quite a high amp draw, that one. 1 more. And from what I can hear, absolutely no buzz at all. So it's probably the device I plugged into it the other day. It was starting to make quite the noise. But I've only ever heard that once. Okay, you can hear that again. You can see these 2 devices here. This 5 it refuses to play normal. But the 6s, where they're curved, want to sit at an angle. So you can see that it's got every port filled here. Where are we? I mean, that looks horrendous to me. Obviously, you know, most people don't care. If we had these tiny little jumper leads, so if you're listening, Union Repair, if you can make tiny little jumper leads, we want, you know, 4 of each or 8 of each, you know, 8 micro USBs, 8 lightning cables, maybe a couple of 40 pin connectors. Add that as a package to it. I would pay to have that facility of these smaller, because I don't think there's anywhere in the world that you're going to get 3-inch jumpers. I might be wrong. If there isn't, put it in the comments below, because I want some for my own. As we can tell here, I can't hear. Where are we? I can't see any problems. Let me just have a listen. I can't even hear the transformer. And as far as I can tell, these are all charging. Yep, you can see on mine, these are all charging. Someone's being ignored. Let's have a look on here. You can see up in the corner there. Where are we? There we go. You can see that's charging nicely. So yeah, overall, a really good bit of kit. Right, where are we? So let's try and get that. So not the neatest. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. Let's spin this around so you can see here. Try and get this backed all the way up. See on that cam there. So yeah, you can see that overall, I mean, it's pretty good. It's pretty sturdy. There's not really a lot to say about it. Then if you want one of these to tidy up all of the phones that you've on charge, and realistically I will say that it's been rare I've even filled the whole thing up. This is probably the first time we've had every single port full charging, so it's at least got 4 in at any one time, and yeah, it certainly saves space. We just poke the invoices in with them. When the customer comes, we just pull them out. So yeah, great bit of storage device. Looks like it's charging them all, and 19 amps, you know, that's well over 2 amps per device, so you're not going to stress the unit out. It should last. I haven't had a look inside. I've not opened it up yet to see what sort of quality is inside, but from what I can tell, the only time I've ever heard the transformer in here start to really struggle was when we put a device on it the other day, and to be honest, it might be the extension lead that it's on, so that might be the cause of it, because I've got this plugged directly into the wall over here. Not a problem. So I'm going to end that live stream here. I'm going to leave the link up on the page while I do this. Obviously, all of the links to this for Union Repair are going to be down in the bottom. I was going to do another review. I've got some other bits here, but I've run out of time, unfortunately, so we'll come back to this next week. I'm going to try and do maybe 1 review a week for Union Repair stuff, the sort of stuff that you're going to be using on a day-to-day basis, and I want to review them after about a month of using them, so you know, you get a real good. There's no point of opening a box up and going, oh yeah, it looks pretty, you know, will it work? And after a month you find that it fails. You want something that's gonna, you know, I've used this for a month, it's not bent out of shape, it's not exploded, it's not burnt my workshop down. So but yeah, as far as I can tell, this is definitely a win for $35. Money well spent. I would probably paid a little bit more. If you are listening, Union Repair, and you can make the smaller leads for us as an add-on pack, I would certainly buy those as an add-on pack. I don't know how anybody else feels about that, especially when it comes to neatening up the cables and making the desk look a lot more tidier, especially that's what this does. So as always, if you're on YouTube, like and subscribe. If you're on Facebook, hit the like button below. If you've got any questions, hit us up on the website, ukmicrosoldering.co.uk, and as always, thanks for watching.